Good morning. Yeah, hey, it's Wale. I'll play a couple more tunes because I was readying myself up. And, if somebody want to come in, just give them a chance to get on in. I made a video about that too, how people try to be on time. I think it's a useless effort to try to be on time. What one needs to try to do is be early. Don't just try to be on time. Try to be early. So I just want to hit, like I say, one more tune or something like that, no problem. And I get back at you. We'll get into this contemplation. It's what's up, it's what's needed. And we're going to go ahead and run through that contemplation thing. Hold on a second. Got you covered right here.
Never like nobody that's been mean to me. I hate the misery.
Oh, this the one. This is what I meant to be playing. Thank you so much.
You're something that you never had. It's right up on the tag. I put it in a brand new bag. This thing will let you be sad. And wanna be nobody else. Nothing like you ever saw. And it's not against the law. Why don't you check out your mind? Why don't you check out your mind? Then look at all the time. People thinking they've been took. Just finding out they're overlooked. They never found the missing link. But got their head on my thing. Why don't you check out your mind? Then look at all the time. Why don't you check out your mind? Then look at all the time. Check out your mind. Check out your mind. Check out your mind. Just for me and I and you. No matter what you see me do, I'm doing me for all I'm worth. I'm doing better on this earth. Why don't you check out your mind? Why don't you check out your mind? All the time. Why don't you check out your mind? Then look at all the time. Why don't you check out your mind? Then look at all the time. Check out your mind. 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 got you.
Okay, what have we done? So we're back, yeah. Check out your mind. I got one more musical, and then I'll be on this thing because it came to me yesterday, and I've been working it out today, and I got it from Thank you, B1 for Life, for showing up. I appreciate you, 100. What I'm looking at is, I know that we can look at today and work from today backwards if we care to. All of that we have to realize is in our imagination. None of it is happening right now. We carry stories around in our imagination and we call them real. Most of the stories we were told, they're not experienced in any manner. And then we have the future, which is once again in our imagination. It doesn't exist now. It's strictly in our imagination if we care to imagine the future. Now, I noticed for a lot of people, a lot of conversations, a lot of talk, a lot of whatever, people are constantly referring to the past as they understand it or as they have been taught it to exist, the past. However they understand it or have been taught that it exists. And so, yeah, they hang out in that past and it's all in their imagination. None of it is real. It's all in the imagination. Read a book and say, okay, that's what happened. Watch a movie and say, okay, that's what happened, or whatever, and say, okay, that's what happened. Somebody tell you a story. Okay, that's what happened. You be in school. Okay, that's what happened. And now you think what happened is all that stuff you were told because you filled all that stuff in with your imagination. None of that stuff really happened in your experience. So what I'm a advocate of is taking your real experience, just your experience, not your perspectives on the experiences, not your conclusions on the experiences, just your experiences. And then we look at those. And contemplation. Contemplation is the idea that I understood it in when it first was introduced to me. As I guess everybody know, I do voodoo. The concept of my ancestors is voodoo. In a sense, we call it voodoo because why not? You view it, you do it. We are in the world of imagination and we bring it out to creation. I put in here, contemplation, concentration leads to creation. I did this a lot when I was carving wood. I carved wood for a long time. I still do. Got some pieces I'm working. And I contemplated, just like I do any task. I contemplated, right, the task. And then in contemplation, I see the end result. I say, okay, because I carve wood, I see a piece of wood, and I say, okay, what I want it to look like at the end, right? This is idealisms. Everybody gets it. I heard, just to bring it up, that guy, Tesla, he had mentioned that too. He was good at, what is it called? Contemplation. He had studied Indian aesthetics, that guy Tesla did. And in Indian aesthetics, they teach also concentration and contemplation. And so what he would do, like, just to give you a short version of the story, he would contemplate whatever his idea was. I think, contemplate whatever his idea was, and then, all the way to its completion. Not just say, oh, I got an idea, I'm gonna try this, try that. That'll lead you for trying this and trying that for a long time. What he said he did was simply contemplate the entire work through from beginning to end, and he could work out all the problems in the contemplation while it's still in the imaginary stage of development. When you make things, they begin in the imagination stage of development. Some idea come to you. That's okay. It's an idea. It just came to you. That's yours. Don't make a patent on nothing you do ever again, because the United States government is gonna, if it's a good patent and if it's gonna lead to a world-changing event, the United States government, as of 1971, said they can take it and put you and your patent in jail. So I suggest, and anything that goes to the patent office goes through that scrutiny of whether they want to put this person in jail or not. I'm still waiting to hear from Howard, what's his name? You know, the colored boy with 1 × 1 = 2, something like that. Terrence Howard. Right. I haven't heard from him in a long time. Have you? Anyway, like I say, you be careful. Read that Secrecy Act of 1971, where they say they can take any patent and the patenteur in their custody right upon sight. Okay, so now let's get into contemplation, the end result of whatever we're doing. That's what you call contemplation. You go from where you're at, and, you know, I like to call it start from where you're at to get to where you're going. You have to contemplate that. And in contemplation, you simply figure, you know, you say, hey, wait a minute. I want to get over here and, wow, Deacon Dave showed up. Hey, Deacon Dave. Top of the morning to you, babe. Appreciate you showing up. So now you get from where you at to where you want to get to. This is the route I call concentration, contemplation, because concentration simply means to stay focused on an item or a concept without any unfocusedness, just totally being focused on one concept. This is called concentration. Like you focus on a point or a leaf on the tree, and just focus on that and concentrate on that for as long as you can, that leaf on the tree, and think your perspective will start changing. This is called concentration. Yeah, your perspective will start changing. It's a must. That's what happens when one concentrates, because your perspective starts changing away from being in its normal location. Your perspective, I mean, because perspective comes from a location, right? Your perspective from being 5 foot tall is going to be like like that, and your perspective from being 6 feet tall is going to be like that, right? Because you're looking down on things, and 3 foot, you're looking up on things. So this is a matter of perspective, man. And actually it's all mathematical and stuff like that. As I say, voodoo is the extreme science. It's the biggest science. Every other science falls under voodoo. I don't care who came up with it, when, or none of that noise. Voodoo is the extreme science of what's happening. Okay, so you concentrate on something. Okay, let's say you come up with an idea for a widget. I call any little thing you make up, a little thing you make, like a cigarette lighter. It's a widget, little something you make. Let's say you got an idea. An idea comes to you because you don't get it. Ideas just be floating around in the ether, and sometimes they'll resonate with your mind, and your mind will say, wow. And your mind will just kick it out because your mind ain't on that kind of thing. But sometimes your mind will bring it in and contemplate it for a few seconds. And I'm saying, okay. Now you say, oh, that sounds like a good idea, because you just contemplated it for a few seconds. So now what you have to do is, I'm not sure how this thing is doing. Give me a second. So now what you do is you say, okay, I've contemplated it for a few seconds, and it sounds like a good idea. So what you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go with that good idea right now and see how it works out. Okay, so now you got that good idea that has, you picked out of the ether, because the ideas come in. You probably had 5 or 10 ideas since I've been talking that came by you, and whether you pick up on them or not is up to you, because they keep coming by all the time. Ideas just all over the place. They like flies, and whatever these other things, mosquitoes and stuff. Ideas be all over the place. It's whether you pick up on them or not, and you see the validity of them or not through subtle contemplation. We contemplate all the time. Like the moment you say, I want some ice cream, and I try to keep this stuff the same way, the same simple. You say, I want some ice cream. The moment that idea comes to your mind that you want some ice cream, whether it came from the parasites in your belly or it came from the watching TV commercial or whatever the idea came from, some remembrance of thought about something, and you saw about the ice cream, but wherever it came from, okay, fine. The moment you think, I want some ice cream, your mind goes to contemplation. Oh, I can figure it out. I'll get it from here. I can get it from the next place. I can get it from the next place. Oh, I know if I go over here, there's some in the fridge, isn't there? All your mind goes right into contemplation. What I'm saying is we're contemplating, and that's what contemplation is, part of thinking, and that part of it is called contemplation. Now you say, okay, I can go to her house. She got ice cream, but and if she don't, she got a car. So I can get her to take me to get some ice cream. And then when I get there, I got enough money to buy the ice cream. If we go to this particular store, that particular store, to the end result of you getting the ice cream, you contemplate your whole movement to the end result. And this is contemplation. And in order to get contemplation to do the whole thing like you might want it to do, or what I seek for everyone to want it to do, is to be deliberate and work in concentration, so that it's not only deliberate, but it's focused contemplation from the beginning to the end. Like I say, when I see a piece of wood, I see the end result, what I want to be the end. And then I work from where it's at, just a piece of wood off a tree or something, until the image that I want to create, right? And so all the way through, this is the creation process. No matter what you want to create, you want to, like I also make my clothes, right? So, sew them together and stuff. So I think about what I want. Okay, I wanted what's this thing called? Nehru net. So I thought about that before I even made the shirt, before I even pull out a fabric. I thought about how I wanted to look, where I wanted to go, how I wanted to fit, all that kind of stuff, before I even looked at the fabric to see which fabric I'm going to use. I had all that stuff in mind, and then I started looking at which fabric to use and this and that. And I did all that without moving from a seat, because I know which fabrics I got. And I just, went and got them in my mind and say, okay, I got this, I got that. Will that work? And then I say, oh, no, that one ain't going to work. And then I contemplate through the whole thing till I get to the end. And I say, okay, that'll work. And then I get up and make it. And sometimes it does take longer to make it than it do to contemplate it. I had never beat that ratio. But it seems like it takes longer to contemplate it than it do to make it. But I know for sure, once a thing is contemplated, the making of it is very simple and very easy, and it moves right on through, no problem. Lance, my man, thank you so much. I'm doing this contemplation thing, and I appreciate you showing up, Lance. Really do. Hold on, I'm gonna send you a hello. I ain't seen Lance in a minute, because I can barely stand that platform we actually met on, so I'm not there as often as, something about a lot of noise and all that other stuff is difficult for me. And Lance, if you want to come up, please do so, man. I put the thing already in the chat saying, the StreamYard thing. But meanwhile, I'll finish this conversation I'm having. Well, not conversation, this explanation I'm having on this this concept of contemplation. We all do it. See, this is the thing about what we do. We all do all these wonderful things, but not to our benefit, as it's called. Okay, like this. There was a woman in Brazil. Forget what year it was, but she found the biggest diamond in the world up until 1981. It was classified as the biggest diamond in the world, but because she was a little colored woman and a cracker said she was his slave, he took it from her and said whatever she owned, he owns it because she is his slave. Now, I'm going to bring that to right now, because I keep saying a lot of times we be trying to look back in the past on stories we've heard. We ain't got to look back in the past on stories we've heard, except to validate them by the stories of today, the experiences, of today. And I know for sure when I work with a corporate office, they said, and the part of the contract, because I don't just get hired, I sign contracts, right? So in the contract, it said anything I come up with while I'm in working with that corporation, because I work with corporations, I don't work for corporations. You have to make, it's up to you how you do it, but I'm not saying, like that's my perspective, and that's how I deal with them, and that's the paperwork. And they said anything I come up with while I'm working with their corporation at their office, at their corporate office, anything I come up with new, brand new, all this kind of stuff belongs to the corporation, as long as I come up with it while I'm working with them. Now, if that ain't the same thing the lady just did with the diamond, I don't know what is. So did slavery change or doesn't exist? It still exists now. Guys say, oh, you work with the corporation, we take everything you make. Yeah, you could go to the law offices and see all kind of legal battles on what I just said, because people trying to get their own stuff back. And then, of course, there's the Security Act of 1971 that says any patent that you put in the United States Patent Office will be scrutinized by the United States federal government to see if it's useful in any way, or change, or will it affect or change the current situation. And if it will, they have a right not only to confiscate the patent and all of the parts of it, but they also maintain the right to take the patenteur, the person that came up with it, and imprison them. Read it. In I think it was 1828, something like that, in Jamaica, they were making steel, a certain kind of steel, a certain pattern they had, for making steel, a certain method they had for making steel. And some cracker saw them making steel, and he was like, God, these niggas making this crazy valuable steel. So what he did, he took an army over to them niggas' foundry where they make steel. They arrested all the people, confiscated all of the material that they was working with and their machines, put it on a boat and took it back to England and said it was theirs. And they still claim it under the name of the guy that took it from the Jamaicans, the people on the island of Jamaica. Because y'all say Jamaicans, you think about Jamaicans like today or some stupid I don't know what the fuck. But on the people who were on the island of Jamaica doing all that steel work that they didn't even know it existed. And they took their idea and said, okay, but since we the this and that, we just going to take your shit, claim it as ours, just like the guy that took that big diamond, claimed it as his, and he happened to give it to the Queen of England. That big old diamond, he gave it to the Queen of England, so that you'll know where it went. I'm just letting you know that's where it went. I think it was called a Hope Diamond or something like that. It was the biggest diamond. They found one, they say, is bigger over in South Africa since 1981. But up until then, that for over 100 years, that was the biggest diamond found by that little Brazilian woman. I mean, that little colored woman in Brazil. And they just take our stuff when we make our stuff and claim it's their stuff. They even had it so that we couldn't even file for patents before they started this 1971 thing. We would try to file for patents. They wouldn't accept a patent from a Negro, they say. So a Negro had to get a cracker to file his patent for him if he wanted his patent to be filed at all. Matter of fact, in Virginia, the state of, They said that if a nigga wanted to live in Virginia after 1831, he had, and he's free. He's already free. He didn't want to just remain free because they were going to make every nigga a slave, suppress every nigga's freedom is what the thing they do. Rights and all that. They want to suppress all that. Okay, so they said in order for a Negro to be free, he had to still get a cracker to sign as his authority or representative to the cracker world. So it's almost like he a slave anyway, because he got to have a cracker to represent him when it comes to crackers. He can't represent himself to the government. He has to have a cracker represent him. Even if he's rich, whatever he got, land, everything, they will take that from him unless he can get a cracker to stand for him in front. And that's why a lot of people were signing their stuff over the crackers. You'll find if you look, most people don't look, but if you look, you'll find the evidence of what I'm saying about that. And in today's reality, because a guy come up with an idea and he'd be like, I can't get this off or something. Bobby, will you help me? Well, Bobby got connections over here, over there. He said, yeah, I do it for 20%, 30%. Bobby go and run it over there. You sign up with him so you can get your shit off the ground because you're a nigga and ain't nobody going to loan you the money that it takes to get the investment. So you go get a cracker to front you. We're doing it the same way today. I'm just that nothing changes. So this is contemplation. And there's contemplation that can go hundreds of years. All you got to do is focus on what you're looking for with your idea. Focus on the inroad. Like people say, we want to, this is a thing I heard just recently. Please bear with me. The guy said the dream of a slave is not that of freedom, but of owning a slave of his own, but of having a slave of his own. The dream of a slave is not that of freedom, but of having a slave of his own. See, he's into the doggone conditioning. He's into the societal positioning. He is in it. He don't want to just get out of the societal conditioning. He wants not only just to be free of the societal conditioning. No, he want to get even more into it to where he can have a slave of his own. And see, all of these things have been figured out hundreds of years before. So once you convince a person that they're a slave, and you convince a person that their ancestors are a slave, just like you convince a bird that it can fly, it's a bird. Its ancestors can fly. And it'll try to fly because its ancestors could fly. And guess what? The bird will fly. When you convince somebody that their ancestors were slaves, then they're going to be a slave automatically. Their whole being is set for that. None of their actual reality is set for that, but their whole mindset is set for being a slave. Oh, that's why you're talking to me like that, because of this and that and the other. Some crap. It don't even make no sense. So I'm saying we get the contemplation that can go hundreds of years ahead of us, and we contemplate the life we want to see our progeny live. And in order to see that life, like we get the idea, that's how we want to see them live. Now, what do we do? And concentration, we ain't got up nothing, did nothing physical, because this ain't no physical work I'm talking here. This is all mental work, so you can control your mind. The mind is enslaving us. Our minds are what's enslaving us. Nothing else. Ain't nothing around here got no gun or chain me up. Nobody. It's the mind. It's in the mind. We have allowed the shackles of on our minds. Oh, I can't do that because of this. Oh, if I do that, then this. Well, they all of that shit's in your mind. None of that shit real. It's been stories told. It's been movies shown. And now they're events and stuff in your mind as though they real. The mind, like they say, the subconscious, it doesn't care if a thing is real. It only cares that you think it's real. At a time when you're watching a movie, and while you're watching the movie, the impressions of the cinema got you crying. You know it's a movie. You know it's a script. You know it's written by somebody. You know it's acted by some actor they picked out. They probably got this one and they got understudies to do the same act. You know all of that. You know it's a script. You know it's a movie. You know they got cameras where you can't see them and all that. You know all of that. Yet, the events on the screen got you crying. How did that happen? Because the mind and what they call the subconscious can't distinguish between what's real and what's not real. That's why I'm saying when you contemplate, the subconscious don't know the difference. You thinking, oh, that shit ain't real, but your subconscious is not. All you have to do is contemplate a reality, a future, contemplate it in concentration, meaning you're focused on it. You got the whole thing, you know, ain't nothing else. You don't hear the cars, you don't hear the birds, you don't hear nothing. You don't care what nobody was saying yesterday, today, tomorrow. None of that stuff. You feel in focused concentration. As you contemplate, ain't no way you cannot create. It's a done deal. Those two, concentration, contemplation, creation is the next move. You ain't even got to put no effort into it. It just comes so sweetly. It's just like it's almost doing itself. Sometimes I'd be making clothes and I'd be like watching, doing something, watching. And before I know it, the clothes are made, I'd be like, damn, who made this? I don't even recognize who made it. Because I was concentrating so hard when I concentrated it, when I contemplated it, it was already in the reality of reality. It wasn't in the reality of physicality, though. So now creation brings it into the physicality. This is another thing we have to realize. Creation means bringing it into physicality. It don't mean making it all together, because there's part of reality that's non-physical. Almost all of reality is non-physical. We see the tree, we see all that, and we say, oh, that's reality. That's physicality. Then you look at a tree, you ain't got no reality, because you know the tree has electricity going. Even our bodies have electricity just popping out of it and stuff. I got a multimeter right here. I'll go do it, because a lot of people be like, hey. I tell everybody, go to the doggone store, go to some store somewhere, hardware store or something, and damn, is this thing on? I wonder if the battery's working. I saw it just a minute. Okay. Anyway, go to maybe the battery died or something, I don't know. But go to a hardware store, ask them to show you their multimeter, and ask them how it works. And as you ask them how it works, you can tell them the truth. They'd be fascinated themselves, because most of them don't even know. And you put your finger on one of the leads. They call these things leads, right? The lead to the multimeter, the different wires, right? They call them leads, right? So you put your fingers on each lead like this, and it will come up as a voltage, usually around 2 volts. That's what, I've been seeing in my thing. So we are electrical beings. We are allowing others to tell us what we are, and then we are trying to be what they tell us that we are. Because they're not telling us what we are, but we try to be what they tell us that we are. They say we are slaves, so we try to be that slave. Oh man, I want reparations for my family, because my family is slaves, and you don't even know that to be so. It's just a story you've been told, and usually not by your actual family. All that gory and stuff they be crying about and shit. Your actual family and somebody told you that story, and now you're trying to play it out, because they've contemplated that when you put yourself in that position and contemplate yourself in that position, you're going to create that circumstance. It's a done deal. Now you're sitting around today, free as hell, no problems, like you've always been free as hell, no problems. But you're looking into some story about some past imaginative past that you don't really know because you didn't experience it, but you were told. And now you're going to spend all your time in make-believe world like a child and forfeit your time in the real world as an adult, where you are actually at right now and can create all kind of things, your own schools, your own whatever you want to make right now can be done right now. But instead, we spend most of our concentration, contemplation in some fad, past narrative story crap. That's imagination on steroids and fucking Ozempic. Heroin and everything else. Talk about crack. Shit, I think it's better for a person to be on crack than to be on history. There you go. I think it's worse for our people to be on history. It's better to be on crack. At least niggas on crack trying to get to the future rock. But niggas in history trying to get something from history from somebody else instead of getting their own rock. And I'm saying right now, we have an opportunity as adults to make our own rock. We don't have no imaginary crapola, because whatever happened in the past, I guarantee you, it's happening right now. Scientific fact. Energy doesn't go anywhere. It is remain. All it does is transform. All it does is transform. It formulates over here as steam. And then it formulates over here as rain. And then it formulates over here as a river. And then it formulates here as a cloud. It's the same energy. It ain't going nowhere. It's just changing its form. The whole sometimes it's steam, sometimes it's water, sometimes it's ice. It's the same. Ain't nothing changing except the condition. And I'm saying right now we have the ability to make whatever we want to happen. All we have to do is want it, like an idea, contemplate it, how we can get from here to there in concentration, because you got to concentrate in order to contemplate. You know, we have this 3-second contemplation. Oh yeah, I was telling somebody something and they say, oh, that don't sound right to me. And I had only said about 5 words of a 15-word sentence, right? And I had finished 5 words and already they saying, because that's as far as their mind can contemplate. If I go the whole 15 words, they be lost like, I couldn't keep up because I can't concentrate that long. Most people can't concentrate that long. 15 seconds, 20 seconds. No, not concentration. Most people, some people do it. I ain't tripping. But most people don't. They concentrate. They call it attention span. Their attention span is about 3 to 5 seconds. 3 to 5 seconds, they already think about something else. You start talking, hey, man, what's going on? They mind going somewhere else. Why that nigga wearing this? Why? What are you talking about? Why? What? They mind already on something else. Like 3 to 5 seconds. And the more educated they are, the older they are, usually the less time they can actually concentrate. I watch children concentrate longer. They call it daydreaming. Stop daydreaming. No, the child is contemplating. We call it daydreaming and tell them not to do it. We all contemplate, but usually only for seconds at a time. And that's why some people, you know, some of the people I know indulge in let's say marijuana. It assists. It can be used to assist. It can be used to assist with contemplation. It's a matter of mindset. And we have to keep, if you want to really be keeping up, keep adjusting your assemblage point. What I mean by that is that, you know, the place where you go to, that's you. You think that's you. The place that you go to that you think is you. That's your assemblage point. The place that your mind goes to and you feel sad, yeah, this way I'm at. I'm cool here. This way this me. That place there, that's a comfort joint for you. That's not really you, but that's a comfort joint for you. And I suggest changing your assemblage point on a regular basis. Like actors do it all the time because they have to assume another identity, which means they have to move their energetic assemblage point to another location. If they're doing method acting, especially method acting, one must move their assemblage point to another place to match the assemblage point of the character that they're acting. So this is what I mean by moving the assemblage point. It's a good thing. Sometimes I move my assemblage point just to children. I see a child do something, and I'll move my assemblage point to match that point where that child demonstrated their assemblage point to be. Right? I'll move mine right there real quick, and then we can relate from that particular assemblage point. This is you can use it, but this is not really with the contemplation and the concentration, but it's part of the mind, the things that the mind can do. It's a wonderful tool. It is not you. The mind is not you. The mind is not the self. I call it the self, you, what you are and who you really are is the self. The self is immortal. The self is non-physical. The self has no fear, and the self is simply here to enjoy life. The self is that immortal being that we all are. And when you can enjoy and learn to enjoy this mortal experience, the self is experiencing a mortal experience. Now, some people are miserable in this mortal experience, and some people, like myself, have learned to enjoy this mortal experience. It's just a matter of perspective and assemblage point. Let's say perspective. Let's say, okay, a person that's a Christian-minded person, they've been told that it's all sin and evil and all that. So their perspective is always like that. Their perspective, I hope to God that, because that's what their perspective is. However, their perspective also is of good and evil. So it's always that, I don't know if I'm right or wrong. It's good and evil, surprise. See, but when you're immortal, which is a different perspective of realization, then we realize as immortals, we are perfect, empty. We don't have to worry about that. We are already perfect. Immortals are perfect. Humans are not. You hear me periodically say I'm not human, because humans are notoriously not perfect. Immortals are notoriously not human. We don't have an expiration date. This mortal experience, this physical experience, because this is a spacesuit. This thing I'm wearing is a spacesuit. We call it a body, but we can call it a spacesuit. Yeah. Oh, Garrison. Look at this. Salute, Garrison. All right. One love. So what happens is I put the streamline up there, or whatever, StreamYard. If you want to join the conversation, ask a question, say something, or make a comment, please feel free at the top of the thing. There's a StreamYard thing up there, connection. And there you go, my man. Meanwhile, I'll keep it going like I'm going, because I just be doing my thing. So what happens is we go along and we say, okay, check this out. When we're born, we have what's called sovereignty. Sandra, all right, well, at at uh at at birth, we have sovereignty. I know you've been hearing a lot of talk about sovereign, this, that, and ain't nobody sovereign, all that kind of good. That's just crazy talk. A sovereign citizen is what it means when you say cat dog. A cat dog is a I forget what it's called. When you got two opposite things or something like that at the same time, that's what a sovereign citizen is. A citizen is automatically a slave. So a citizen can't be sovereign. So that's why they say you can't be a sovereign citizen, because you can be sovereign but not a citizen. You can be citizen but not sovereign. That's how they go. You put them two together and you got a crazy talking crazy talk. So the whole thing goes like this. We want to contemplate whatever it is, the idea. We want to contemplate it till its completion, from where you at to where you want to go. You map the whole route, how much money you need, how much gas you're going to need if you're driving a car, whatever the way you're getting there. You want all of that, what tools you need, what materials you need. You want to know all of that before you even move a muscle. You want to know how you're going to get it, where you're going to get it from. You want to have all this stuff worked out before you move a muscle. And this is called contemplation. You want to have it worked out in your imagination. The imagination is one of the greatest tools given to man, or whatever, I don't know, given, created, whatever. It's one of the greatest tools I have is imagination, imagination. Because that's what I'm talking, image. You image it, you build the image here to its finiteness. That's why I say you got to contemplate it. How did it get built? Oh, I go over and did this, and then I did this, and then you're doing all that in your mind, though. And then I did this, and then all this is in contemplation and imagination. You're doing all of this in the non-physical world. Again, 95, according to the scientists, 95% of reality is non-physical. This is according to the scientists of the Western world today. So it's not like, okay, making us stuff or this or soda and all that kind of garbage. No, this is real, and it's real science, because I only deal with science, and this is how it goes. So you contemplate from beginning to end, and then you accomplish that one. And it really doesn't matter. We do it all the time, so it can apply to anything. I want to get the computer out. I want to go get the clothes out of the washing machine. You contemplate that. Even for seconds, our contemplation usually lies in seconds, because we're not accustomed to concentration. Concentration will practicing, because you got to build that up until you can get longer concentration for longer periods, so that you can get bigger contemplations done, bigger tasks done, 100-year plans and stuff like that. If you only planning for 3 minutes, then your plan is kind of small. You don't need much concentration to plan for a 3-minute plan. But if you're going to plan for a 2-day plan, okay, we're going to plan to go over here and do this and that. You got to start planning. It ain't going to take no 10 seconds. You got to be able to concentrate on what you're doing long enough to get the plan totally drafted, and then look at it for its efficacy and its practicality, and make sure it works, because you're going to see little things here and there. Fix them before you make a move. This is all before you make a move. Fix those little things you think are going to be a problem. Fix them now. Don't wait. Fix them now before you make a move. If you don't know something, go find out, well, where can I get this from? Go to Google. and find out where to get it from so you can finish your contemplation. See what I mean? It's not you, and then you go. It's all still in your imagination, and the imagination is the biggest tool we got. That, however, when it's used wrongly, it's the biggest prison you can imagine. And that's what we have imaginated, a big ass prison, because people have told us, for the most part, that we were slaves. I asked my aunt at 105 years old. She's older than my mother was. At 105, I asked her about slavery. She said she never heard of that until she went to school. She didn't get that from her people. She got that from going to a school when she, 105 years old, almost 100 years ago, was the first time she went to school. And they told her that because her parents didn't tell her that crap shit. You see what I mean? They told them that in school, but she didn't inculcate it. So she wasn't indoctrinated. But the next generation was inculcated and indoctrinated. And the subsequent generations are fully with it. They think that shit real. And nobody told them to get there. Read it in a book. You know what I do about books? I burn them. You know why I burn books? Because fuck that. You can't ask a book no questions. Oh, yeah, he wrote a book about this. Who was he? I want to talk to the guy that wrote the book. He wrote the book. I don't know him. He might be a child molester. He might be anything. He might be a crazy guy. He might be a crack addict. But he wrote a book. Who cares? He wrote 5 books. Oh, no kidding. That means what? He got 5 stories he wrote. That's all that means. Everybody got a story. This guy got a story. That guy got a story. This guy I used to watch this thing called The Naked City when I was a kid on TV. And it was in black and white. This back then, the black and white TV. They didn't have the mechanics for color, broadcasting. It was called The Naked City. And at the beginning of The Naked City, they would say, in the Naked City, there are over 1 million stories. This just happens to be one of them. That's the point. This just happens to be one of them. Right now, slavery is happening. People are in chains right this second. You don't have to look back, talking about, let's go back to the past. You ain't going back nowhere. You're going in your imagination. You ain't never been there. How you going to go back? All you're going to do is imagine some crap. And you know what we used to call it when we were 3 and 5 years old? We used to call it make-believe. So now you're going to go live in make-believe at 40 years old? And I'm seeing all of that stuff happen today. I was involved in a prison system, and I saw these young boys from 14 to 28 shuffling with chains on their wrist and on their feet, and then chained together to each other. That's happening today, right this second. I ain't gotta go back in no imaginary past to deal with the same thing that's happening today. It's a cop-out to be talking about, well, that happened let's go back to. That's all cop-out talk. It's crazy, stupid. What did I just call? Make-believe. Children talk. Adults know that stuff is happening right this second, and they're dealing with how to make the next second a difference, in the next second. Setting it up so our children can be in an environment of non-suppression instead of suppressing them ourselves. We are just in the mode of suppressing our own children. Don't do that. Didn't I tell you, boy? You want me to whoop that ass? We suppress our own children. I heard a nigga say nigger. You know I'm a nigger, and I'm a proud nigga from a long line of proud niggas, a very long line of proud niggas and niggers. But I notice niggas today, when they say nigger, they are really trying to be derogatory to whoever they're talking to or about. To them, a nigger now, he sees nigger as a derogatory, and he's a nigger. He even called crackers niggers when he want to be derogatory toward that cracker. Called niggas niggas when he want to be derogatory toward niggas. He a nigger, because that's what we are. We niggas, you know. There's nobody black. See this thing here? This thing is black. I got some more black shit. This thing is black. Yeah, you know what black is. Quit tripping. Ain't nobody black. There ain't no money in black. The money is being a nigger, because nigger shit is so good. Nigger shit is so valuable. They attempted to enslave the entire race of niggers just for their shit. Like they took that woman's a big ass diamond. She could have ran the world with that big ass diamond. How was this woman in 18 something, the one with the CJ something, y'all know who I'm talking about, how was she the richest woman in America in the 1800s? Because they lying, man. The math is not mathing. Look at the math. It's all science. It's all mathematics. The math got a math, and it ain't mathing. So this is what contemplation will do. Contemplate everything in a concentrated manner, and then you can see what's occurring right in front of your eyes. People say, well, we're looking for the truth. And I say, what? No one has to look for the truth. The truth is always right in front of us. Always. You don't have to look for it. Nobody can hide it from you. They can tell you not to look at it. They can distract you by pointing over here. No, don't look at that. Look at it. Look at this. Look at it. See, I'm doing this over here. I'm doing this over here. Hey, I'm naked. Look at me. I'm naked. They can distract you from the truth, but they can't hide it. The truth will out. The truth will out. You can't hide the truth. The bodies will not stay buried. Contemplate. Okay, one way to start, with the concentration, because concentration is usually where the work is necessary. In concentration, being focused on one thing for a length of time to finish it. That's usually concentration. That's why I say just look at a tree and concentrate on one leaf, not the whole tree, just one leaf. Don't see the tree no more, just that leaf. Don't even see the forest, none of that no more. Don't even see the branches, nothing, just that one leaf. This is concentration. Do that for as long as you possibly can. This builds that muscle of concentration. This builds that muscle of concentration. And you'll be looking at that leaf, and after about, I think it's about, is it 2 minutes? So some people I've known it to be as short as 2 minutes, and some people I've known to be as long as 20 minutes. But at that point, you'll start seeing the leaf differently. The leaf becomes life. You can see the life of the leaf now. You can see the life in the leaf after about 2 minutes to 20 minutes of concentration, because your whole a point of what's it called, perspective, and your assemblage point changes, and then you see the leaf from a different perspective that you don't see it from before you started the concentration. And then after a while, that just looking at it, and nobody got to do nothing. You don't need no lens or nothing. Just looking at it in concentrated effort, it'll start manifesting itself to you. Because what has happened, we've become accustomed to filling in the blanks with our imagination. So that's how we say we don't know the truth. Well, I've been trying to find the truth in front of you. Just don't fill in the gaps with your imagination. Look at it for what it really is. You're filling in all kind of gaps with your imagination. Because that's all you're living in an imaginary world most of the time. You're living in the past, which don't exist. Something you did yesterday, yesterday don't exist. Where you gonna find yesterday? In somebody's imagination, don't exist nowhere else. Only time that has ever existed, the only time that will ever exist is the time called now. There's nothing else. There's no other time. Now is always what time it is. What time is it now? What time is it now? What, now? Yeah, it's always going to be now. Yesterday, I never. Yesterday is in the imagination. That's why sometimes I show people that they think they offend me today, and tomorrow I show them love. They be like, "Oh, you forgot about?" No, I ain't forget. I know that was then. This is now. I'm dealing in now. I ain't carrying that stuff around. I'm so enlightened. I don't have no weight. Sometimes I wonder why I don't float away. This is enlightenment. We ain't carrying none of that noise around. We're dealing with now and only now, and now is continuous. This is enlightenment. This is what you want to do with your contemplation, concentration, and creation. Because I'm contemplating anyway. I'm contemplating some clothes that I'm going to create, but I have not concentrated on the contemplation yet. So I only got so far in that. So I haven't even broke out the sewing machine or the scissors. I ain't even cut nothing until I could see it in full contemplation with its due amount of concentration so that I could see the end and its completion. And then the creation will occur almost like magic, they say, almost like magic. And that's what I got. Look, anybody else? I put up the StreamYard. If you want to come on, please hurry up because I'm about to go. I did this thing and I have exhausted my, what's they call it? I have exhausted my input to this idea. And yeah, I'll go do something else. But like I said, if somebody want to come up on this thing called StreamYard, be welcome. Maybe you're up there already. I don't see nobody on StreamYard. So, no, I don't see nobody on StreamYard. So if you come up, I put you up. If you don't come up, I got about 5 minutes to wrap this up. And I'm going to do this because I want to do it anyway. This little thing here, which is, yeah, this little thing right here. Hey, I listen to a lot of this stuff every morning, right? Because I like it.
I know a place, ain't nobody crying, no. Ain't nobody worried, ain't no smiling faces, lying to the races. I said ain't no smiling faces, no smiling faces. Ain't nobody crying, no more crying. If you're ready now, some more. I'll take you there. Lord, have mercy. Say if you're ready. Help me. I'll take you there. Some more. I said, come on. I'll take you there. I'm ready now. Sounds good.
If you're ready now, come on. I know a place, y'all. I ain't nobody crying.
Say ain't no.
Help me,
I said ain't no. Nobody worrying. Let's not face it right to the places. Help me now. I said if you're ready. I said I see y'all. Come on if you're ready. Simple way to come on, ain't nobody crying. Let me take you there. Help me now, say mercy, mercy now. Help me, let me lead you. Come go, good time, happy time. Just take my hand and come on.